today.
Set for football now on a sunny afternoon in the second city. And off we go from Soldier Field.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
As I remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia, he was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
And here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
But not the graphic that this fan base wants to see week one, Charles. They were hoping to see key acquisitions, some bright spots. Instead, we're talking about injuries, preseason injuries that have guys missing here in this one.
And even in today's football, where everyone does their best to try to have their starters ready for week one, guys still have to practice. They still have to train, and injuries do crop up. You're exactly right about that, though, Brandon. None of the people supporting this team wanted to see that graphic on the screen at the start of this game.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time.
They'll be led out by the rookie who played his college ball for the Pitt Panthers, so that's Kenny Pickett.
And when you watch Kenny Pickett play, you see a young man who got better every season in college and really blossomed in his final campaign, took his game to a new level, and made him a first-round pick in the NFL. He's the type of kid who can beat you.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Geno Smith, a 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Bears take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The Bears send the kicking team out there and they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Now Pickett.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Trying with Pickett here on 3rd down.
That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Allen hit. He lost the football. There he goes, right side. 20, 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So that's about as fortuitous of a bounce as you're going to find as it's scooped up and taken in for the touchdown.
And I love how you use the word fortuitous there, because as that popped up, he just happened to be in the right place, grabbed it, and found his way into the end zone.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down.
Pickett going to keep it again.
And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith.
He gets this complete to Cephas. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw, Smith. Got a man, it's Brown.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now it's Smith. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. but the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down, Montgomery. Well, he's got some breathing room.
And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. 81 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. This one swung out to Montgomery. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on third down. Here's Pickett.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Seibert's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So the third drives the charm. They are on the board, albeit with just a field goal.
Yeah, 3 points from 3 drives. That's not going to win you a whole lot of football games. Hopefully the fact they were able to move the ball a little bit can wake up their offense.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
From the 17, Smith. And his throw here is incomplete.
So they look like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
3rd and 2, Smith. And that is incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage. Santos' kick is up and through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So it was 4th and 1 down in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little surprised that that's how they decided to play it, that they didn't go for it there. But sometimes just take those 3 points and put them in your pocket. I just have one question for you, partner.
Okay.
Hip pocket or back pocket?
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Pickett going to keep it again.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Adam Humphries deep to return. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half.
Offenses that you face, and analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DB. Throwing now is Geno. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Pickett now on 1st down.
And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw pulled in by Tate.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Final play of the first half. Here's Pickett.
And this is caught by Watkins.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Open man left side, it's the tight end Tunyon.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Pickett now from the gun here.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
First and 10, here's Pickett.
Again, that's Watkins.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
93 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Has this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Another completion there, and you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the first round, getting the start here, as we mentioned, in week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the first round, people are going to clamor for you to be the starter right away, but many teams want you to get your feet wet first, maybe just kind of hang out behind a veteran starter. In this case, though, he ascended right to the top role, and I know he's excited about the opportunity.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. And that is no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So from the 39. Smith now to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Now Geno on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down, make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And finding Keelan. Now we're going to get a stoppage. It appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Smith. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Austin Hooper, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. On 2nd and 10, Pickett. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And one more time, that's Watkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Pickett back to throw.
He completes it to Tate. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Pickett right back to the air again.
Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 36.
Here's Pickett.
Going back to Allen. He's got him again. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Pickett. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
The Niners on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Pickett will look to throw it here. The throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's 1st and goal.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. David Montgomery taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Niners are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a give running left is Eckler. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. It's Eckler again. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
And now before the ball changes hands, we're going to take a look at this just to make sure. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Niners set to take over on offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be some.
And, oh, he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's got Rome. Escapes the defender.
A note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Game in hand, the offense takes the knee.
2nd and 11.
Eckler now between the tackles. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Down to a knee. Here goes Smith, and that should all but do it.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Bears, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.